my hand out, I'll say this represents 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 3. Okay, see how that works? Anybody? And you can go really fast. There's two ways of doing this. I'll show you now, because that's the ball. The ball represents the mind. The heart represents your emotions that get mapped to it. So on the right and left. So you could be mapping emotions directly, or you could be calculating something and then mapping emotions by moving your hands around as you flick your fingers. That's how you track physical things. Let's say my fingers are doing numbers. Number. Emotions. So I can move my arms around and do my emotional calculator. And then I can move my hands around and do my, so that helps me memorize why I'm doing these numbers and what the numbers each represent. So I can see an emotional track alongside of a literal materialist track, I call it. So materialism is like a bicycle, where the wheels are, the air still being let out of the wheels. That's how I feel about it. So materialism all along. Well, emotions are, like sinners, their emotions are starting to shrink because their heart's breaking. And you can't undo heartbreaking. People think like it must be something that God did to make us hurt. It's just the way emotions work. Like if you've done something to somebody and that's all you think about a lot, your emotions of empathy either start to die because you haven't forgiven yourself or done the right thing and admitted what you did, or something like that, where you can ask God for help, or you can ask that person to forgive you and all that other stuff. So your heart starts to break. You start to think about that incessantly. Sometimes people get all kinds of sorts of problems where they are trying to avoid it. There's all sorts of and it's the way emotions work. It's nothing God did. It's just the way it is. God can't change how emotions work because the fabric of heaven and everything would collapse. That's ultimately what the occult wanted to do. Okay, so to move the ball like this, and then to inject the ball into the system in the Turing machine, so to speak, or whatever the machine. That's like the simplest. That's like the baby version, sort of. It's like a prototype, and then the faster version is to do pair programming, where you rotate the ball and then use paddles. So this is axis 1, axis 2, axis 3, and this is rotate once, rotate twice, rotate thrice. So you go boom, 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 and basically I'm just producing a ball and sending it the whole time. So paddle would be this. That would be back, and then would be forward. So actually, you can just do forward, backward, but you have to. Sometimes when I do forward and backward, when I'm doing that motion, boom, boom, I calculate a number instead of an emotion, so that I can move a certain dimension on the string. It's weird. It's just you gotta develop your own system kind of after a while. That's it for that. So I'll do a slow one. It's hello. Just emotional hello. So I could be going hello, hi, or something like that. So that's pretty much it for that. Yeah, again, so prophesy 30, level 30 or above to talk to the sun modules. Actually, something up there. There's a physical object up there skimming around on that, and inside of the sun and all that other stuff. So that's it. Um, that's it for today. I don't know if I have anything else important to say, or I'm trying to run it to the time. Basically, yeah, this is me. I'm doing my best to get my life together in such a way that people understand who, what, and why I'm doing what I'm doing and what I've had to deal with some of my life, or at least a large part of it, which is super annoying to talk about, because we live in a sort of a Hollywood, no offense to anybody who's listening, but we live into a very Hollywood era, information related Hollywood era, where your social appearances seem to be more important than the data, and what you say in public and all this like social butterfly stuff is more important to a lot of people than facts about what people are or have done in their past, morally or lawfully. So if like a guy who goes to Epstein Island could say a lot of nice things and you say, yeah, that's a good person, and most normal people who sort of have their head on straight would go, what? That person went to an island and did nasty things to kids and horrible things, or at least observed and was a bystander to it. There's something wrong with them. They need to be put in jail or dealt with appropriately. Put down basically if they are messed up enough and other stuff. And then we'll go to God or ask God for help. So occult rituals like that happen a lot. But because those people are in the public eye, people think that the Epstein Island guys run the world. They don't. They have a huge hook in it, they call it, like a good and pull, but they're not running the world. They're just part of it. So we'll see. We'll keep moving.